All right, guys, next on the list is me. I'm going to get on here and show you a little bit about the credit repair. I don't have a whole lot of time, so we're going to jump into this and we're going to go straight into our credit repair training. And I'm not going to be before you long. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. So the first thing I want to just kind of talk about is just some of the facts when it comes to credit repair and what it actually means for a lot of people. Everybody's interested in credit repair, so you shouldn't have any problems, selling it and talking about it, because over 68 million people have bad credit. Now, guess what? That number is going to skyrocket because we're now in a situation where people have lost their jobs, they've lost their businesses, they've lost a lot in the last 3 weeks that have been going on. So it made me start thinking about what's going to happen to people's credit as we continue to be isolated at home, continue to have businesses that are folding, continue to have all of these people on unemployment. They are not going to be able to pay their bills on time. And so 40 million people have an error on their credit report, but it's going to be a whole lot more people that are going to have some issues with credit. In 2018, it was a $3 billion industry. And then what we like to talk about is 79% of the people who dispute errors were successful in removing those errors from their credit report. Everybody wants good credit. This is why this is such a great business or product that MyEcon actually offers. Now I'm going to quickly go through what the good credit score is. The best credit is 800 to 850. Excellent is 750 to 799. Good credit is 700 to 749. Fair credit is 650 to 699. Poor credit is 600 to 649. And then bad credit is 300 to 599. Now, what I want to talk about here with these different scores is your interest rate. The amount of money that you pay interest on is determined by what kind of credit you have. Obviously, the lower your credit score, the higher interest you pay for the same items that other people pay for. So what you want to do is you want to maintain good credit so that when you buy items and you spend money, you don't have to pay the high interest on those items. Now, here's the thing that helped me when I started figuring out credit repair, because this was the thing that opened up the door for me. The lowest that you can get on your credit score is a 300. The highest that you can get is an 850. So what that leaves you with is 550 points that are available for you to build credit. And this was key for me. Once I understood that it was 550 points that I was working with, then I needed to figure out how to get as many points as I possibly could. So 550 is what we're looking at. Now, what we address is the whole score. When I first got started and started looking at credit repair, all I got focused on was payment history. Payment history makes up 35% of your score. So when I figured out there's 550 points that are available, 35% means that I get a maximum of 192.5 points. So then I started realizing by focusing on payment history only, I'm leaving a whole lot of points on the table. I'm leaving a whole lot of points on the table if all I focus on is payment history. And at the time when I was looking at credit repair, that's all the industry was ever focused on. No one started talking about the whole score until MyEcon started doing the My Credit system. I promise you that, because I did all the research. I signed up for all the courses. No one was talking about the whole score until we actually came out and said, hey, payment history is important, but let's not forget all the other pieces of your score. 30% of your score is based on credit utilization. That's almost as much as payment history. So I can pick up 165 points on just credit utilization alone. You see, credit utilization, I have 100% control over, because credit utilization says how much of my debt or how much of my credit am I using. If I decide to keep my credit utilization low, which means pay down my debt, don't run up a whole lot of debt, I control that. If I'm late on a payment and I'm writing letters trying to get them to take that off of my credit report, I don't control that. Somebody else controls whether they take it off or not. But credit utilization, I should be able to get 165 points because I control that. So that was huge for me. Then we look at credit history, which is 15% of your credit score. We talked about, and I figured out how to start getting credit history. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but that was worth 82.5 points. New credit was worth 55 points, and then credit mixture was worth another 55 points. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, another 55 points. So let's go through it real quick. Payment history. This is worth 35% of your score. And basically, there are 4 letters that you can use to address payment history. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get some of these negatives removed off of our credit report. Now, the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that it is our right to have the creditor to verify and validate that the debt is ours. Doesn't mean that the debt is not ours, but it's our right to have them to validate and verify. So we're going to use these 4 letters in our advantage. The first letter is the debt validation letter that simply just asks the creditor, hey, I see that you have this debt on my credit report. Can you validate that this debt is mine? Can you make sure that this is the right Otis Collier, the right June Collier? Can you make sure that this is the right person that you said that this debt belongs to? I need you to validate the debt. Now, when they come back and say we validated that the debt is yours, then you exercise your next right. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says you can then ask for verification. How did you validate the debt? How did you verify that this was me? So you have a letter that you send off asking how did they verify that. Then if they can't tell you how they verified that, you follow up with a third letter that says, listen, the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that you must verify how you validated the debt. And if you can't verify that, you're violating my rights and you must remove it off my credit. Finally, the last letter that you send is the intent to litigate letter. That letter just says, hey, you're violating my rights, and if you continue to violate my rights, I will litigate or sue in court. Now, these are the 4 letters that exercise our rights. Now, by the time you get to the 4th letter, if they have not removed it off your credit and you know for sure that that's your debt, then you've exercised all that you need to do under this section of credit repair. Do not go to court saying that they violated your rights when you know that that's your debt. So for many of us, we get mad because some of the stuff won't come off. Well, if you know it's your debt and they have validated, they verified that it's your debt, then it's yours. Let's move on because this is only 35% of your score. We've got other things that we can actually do. So many people get so caught up right here in the payment history, trying to get everything off their credit report when they know that some of the stuff, if not all of the stuff, is true. All we're trying to do is exercise our rights and hopefully get some of this stuff off. You know, they got 30 days to respond to your validation letter. I might be sending off some validation letters right now while this coronavirus thing is going on, because Equifax might have a lot of their people working from home and they're not able to respond as fast as they could. I might be trying to work that right now. If you got some debt and you know that you probably had those negative things on your credit report, I might be trying to work that right now while everybody's being quarantined at the house. All right, so there are a few other letters that we have in our system that you can utilize to help you depending on your situation. So there's a lot of other different letters that are in that back office of the credit repair system. Let's now talk about credit utilization. This is basically how much of the credit that you have are you utilizing. So if you have a credit card that's got a $10,000 limit on it, and you're running it up to $10,000, you're using 100% of your credit utilization. That's not good. We want to keep that credit utilization low. So what do? We eliminate debt. How do we do that? MyEcon has a debt elimination program to show you how to rapidly eliminate your debt. The other way that you can improve your credit utilization is by increasing your credit limit. So if you got a $10,000 card and you got $10,000 on it, you're at 100% utilization. If you can increase the credit limit on that card to $20,000, now you're at 50% credit utilization. So getting an increase in your credit can also help you with credit utilization. However, by the time most people get to taking care of credit repair, because your credit is already damaged, increasing your credit limitation is probably not going to happen. We can also get some new credit. Again, add additional cards to our profile. Again, this is for somebody that's not in a credit situation. Most people who are in a credit situation are going to find themselves having a hard time getting new credit. So the best thing that you can do with credit utilization is pay down your debt. All right. Now, solution one pays down revolving debt. That's the other thing that I want to make sure that you understand. When you look at your credit report, credit utilization is only based on revolving debt. So your car loan, your mortgage, that is not included with credit utilization. Your credit cards, however, are. So if you're in a debt elimination program and you want to fix your credit and you're trying to get your credit fixed fast, if that debt elimination calculator says pay off your car before paying off your Visa, well, that debt elimination calculator is doing it the right way. But if you're trying to get your credit up and you need to do that fast, then you might need to take that car and put it below the credit cards and go ahead and get those credit cards paid off first. All right, credit history. How do I create credit history? Credit history basically is the length of time that you've had credit, the length of time that you've had a credit card. And so for many people, the best way to improve credit history or get some credit history is by getting an authorized user. So what we say is find someone that you know that has a credit card with long, good history and ask them to add you as an authorized user. They don't have to give you the card. All you want is you want to be an authorized user and you want to inherit the credit report on that particular card, okay? Ask to be added as an authorized user. Now, again, they don't have to give you the card and you inherit their payment history. Now, here's the thing that you need to know with this as an authorized user. You will inherit good or bad payments. So make sure that you choose wisely who you're asking to add you as an authorized user. Make sure that they don't have a lot of credit, high credit utilization ratio on that card. Make sure they got good payment history on that card before you ask to add you as an authorized user. That's going to give you some history. The next thing is new credit, adding trade lines. Now, we can do department store cards. They're a little bit easier to get, like Macy's and Victoria's Secrets and those type of things, but they don't usually give you a whole lot, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense for you to do that. You know, if you get a Macy's card, you might get a $300 credit limit. That $300 isn't going to do as much for you as something else, and we'll talk about what that something else is. We can get secure credit cards. So there are secure credit cards where you can actually put $500, $1,000 on a card, and then they will actually give you a credit card, and then you can use that $1,000 that you put on the card and pay on it just like you would a credit card, and they will report that to the bureaus. Now, the good thing about secure cards is that even if you have poor credit, you can get a secure credit card because you're putting the deposit down first. So oftentimes they don't even run credit checks on secure card applications because you are actually giving them the money that you're going to borrow back against that. All right. Rental history. We've got rental reporting in the back office. If you have been renting, you can turn and convert your rental payments into credit history. And then finally, one of my favorites is the credit builder loan. There are several different banks and companies out there that will actually give you a loan in the form of a CD, and they will freeze that CD. And then you pay on that CD until that CD is actually paid off. And this not only gives you credit, but it also sets you up for an emergency fund at the same time. So I love the credit builder loan programs. Again, because you don't actually get access to the money, they don't run credit checks on you. So the credit builder loan and the secure credit cards, even if you have poor credit, you're able to utilize those two strategies to add new credit to your credit profile. The key is that we want to now start pushing down the bad credit and replacing it with new credit that we are paying on time. So both of these strategies are going to work for you. Make sure that you're paying these debts on time. Make sure you're paying these credit cards on time. And eventually what that does is that's going to push down the negative debt or the negative payment histories and replace it with some positive payment history. All right, last thing is credit mixture. And credit mixture is just having a mixture of revolving debt and installment debt. And so if you've been practicing what we've taught in the first 4 sections, you'll have revolving and installment debt. Revolving is like credit cards. So if you get added as an authorized user, that's going to be revolving debt. If you get that secure credit card, that's going to be revolving debt. Installment debt is going to be something like a car loan, a mortgage, or even the credit builder program. The credit builder program will be installment debt. So having a mixture of these will help you. And the correct mixture is basically 3 active revolving to 1 installment is what they call the ideal mixture of credit. All right. Now, let's talk about what MyEcon offers in form of the credit repair program. We offer something that's very unique. Instead of you having somebody do this all for you, we have a do-it-yourself system where there's 26 videos that show you exactly step-by-step what you need to do. There are 4 rounds of dispute letters, and again, there's extra and additional letters that have been added in your back office so that you can send those letters off. We have the income shifting strategy that comes included with the credit repair. Because remember, you got to get that debt elimination. So we're going to show people how to get that W-4. We're going to show them how to do the debt elimination calculator, take some of the money from the W-4 adjustments that they've made to start paying down their debt very, very rapidly. So they get the income shifting membership, they get the debt elimination software, the minimize expenses calculator, the reestablished credit sources, and the investment calculator. So there's a whole host of different pieces of value that's added into the My System or the My Credit system. So you want to make sure that you let people know exactly how valuable this tool is. It's more than just the training and the videos. It's all of these things that come included. Now, the reason why most people get in bad situations with credit is because they don't have enough money to pay their bills. Well, MyEcon offers an opportunity for a person to use the My Credit system and also become an affiliate. Become an associate in MyEcon selling the My Credit system. So this gives you another opportunity to get people into the business as an associate by approaching them through the credit repair. $29.95 one payment, then $34.95 a month. No quotas, no upsells, no hassles, no experience required. The credit system is digital and automated, and every customer that they sell that has the My Credit system receives their very own private portal. You can refer customers and earn great income. We know the income opportunity is hot because credit is a hot commodity, a hot product right now. When customers purchase the membership, you earn upfront and residual income. So what we're basically doing is we're just going over basically what John Pettiford just went over, which is the compensation plan. And what we've done is we've taken the My Credit system and we're saying, hey, if you like credit and you know a lot of people who need credit, why don't you get involved with MyEcon and start selling the credit repair system? That's a great way for you to start selling the credit repair system. So this is simply the compensation plan flipped on its head inside of the My Credit system. That's all that it is. We're basically telling someone, become an affiliate, become a MyEcon associate, and then you have the ability to sell the credit repair system. Now they can sell the system as a retail product, which is $119, or they can get someone to become an associate and start building their business that way as well. So either way, you can sell product. It's got a $50 CV on that credit repair. I believe it's got a $20 direct sale. So there's about $70 that's available for selling the My Credit system. So there's some great compensation that's right there inside of the My Credit system. So I know I went a little bit fast, but we're running a little short